Hey guys, today we've a Peugeot 106 GTI engine. It's the same engine as the Peugeot, or as the Citroen Saxo BTS. It's just been brought into us today to do time belt replacement on it. So we're going to do step by step instructions on how to replace your time belt, and maybe we'll talk about a couple of issues as well along the way. So first off, we're going to need to loosen off our fan belt tensioner. I've already got this done. You're going to need to take this fan belt tensioner out of your way, just give you a bit more space. So at the bottom here, you've got a 5mm Allen key, and this will adjust the tensioner down. But before you do that, you need to loosen off this bolt here and this bolt just here, and that will allow you, once you do that, it will allow you to adjust the tension off your fan belt. As you can see, I've already got that done. Like I was saying, we're going to need to take the fan belt tensioner out of here as well. So you have a 13mm bolt here, and you've got 3 up here. I'm just going to go ahead and pull that off and give it a bit more space to work. On the crankshaft pulley, there's 3 13mm nuts. Need just to give this a tap. Might be tight. Try not to drop it on the ground like I did. And that's the crankshaft pulley out. So we'll now take off our ring of bolts around the time belt cover. That's our top time belt cover off. We'll also need to take off our lower time belt cover. As I was saying earlier on, there's just one little tent that sits in behind the crankshaft pulley for your cover. That's it there. Just don't go yanking it off if you can't find the bolt. That's our lower time belt cover off. As you can see, this is pretty oily. We'll get these all cleaned up. We're pulling everything back together again, make it look nice. So now that we've got our time belt covers pulled off, we need to align the timing marks up on it. On this engine, when you get to top dead center on cylinder number 1, there's a little hole here in the back that when it comes up to cylinder number 1, you should be able to get a 5mm Allen key into it. But on this one, I don't know if the flywheel's been changed for an upgraded flywheel or what, but there's no hole in it to lock up the flywheel, lock up the crank. So instead, we are going to line up the camshaft holes here, and you can see on this pulley here itself, got a little notch in it, and there should be one on the inlet camshaft as well, but as you can see, someone has broken it. So I don't know if someone has replaced the time belt on this before and forgot to take the pins out before they tried to turn the engine over, and this is after breaking it now, so we'll just work with what we have here, and that's all I've got. So I'm just going to get a timing pin and just insert it into there like that. That'll stop our inlet camshaft moving anywhere. And we'll have to try figure out something on the exhaust camshaft and how to lock it up. I'm going to put a couple of marks with Tipex as reference points from the tooth to the plastic cover, and I'll do the same on the crankshaft here as well. I will make a couple of marks. So, well, not a couple of marks, you want to just make one mark so you're not getting confused. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So for this, I'm just going to use a Tipex pen, and I'm going to make a mark on the crankshaft pulley, like that. And I'm going to put one on the block as well, like that. So I'll be able to tell where if my crankshaft moves, I'll know I'll have my reference mark. We have our pin in this one, but I'm going to mark it up on here. So I'll mark this one here, and I'll mark directly above it. And I'll do the same with the exhaust. Mark this one. And I'll mark the cover. So you can see, got my mark on the exhaust camshaft pulley, and I've got it on the time belt cover as well. Same with the inlet camshaft, I've got my mark on the tooth, and I've got my mark on the top. Same with crank. Mark the pulley, and then I put my mark on the block. So now we're going to pull the timing belt off it now. So for this, you have your tensioner pulley here with a 13mm nut in it. So we need to go ahead and loosen this off. As I'm loosening it off, you will see the center of this loosen off, just like that. And that's your tensioner, how it works. So and get it off as farthest point away from it, and we'll pull the timing belt off. It's the timing belt move now. So we have a crankshaft pulley here. We just have a guide here that the timing belt runs along up to our camshafts. Move up around the camshafts, back around the tensioner, around the water pump, and then back around the crankshaft. So now we're going to pull out the water pump with another two 13mm bolt here and a 13mm bolt here. So we're going to go ahead and pull them out. You may need to give this a tap with the hammer. Keep it loose. Okay, I had to pause the video there for a couple of minutes. This is by far the hardest water pump I've ever taken out in my life. God knows how long it's been changed, but this is what's left of the housing of the water pump. I just could not, it was just seized so badly into the housing that it just kept on breaking off in the bits. I ended up having to get a tool and come in through this hole here that goes directly to the water pump and basically knock it from the inside out. That's how bad it was. it was bad. So we're back. Water pumps out. We're going to need to give all this a good clean before we put a new water pump in it. There's quite a bit of dirt and gunk in it, so we'll go ahead there now and just clean that up now. So in our new time belt kit, we've got a new time belt, we've got our new tensioner, we've got a guide pulley as well, we've got a fan belt as well. The fan belt that was on is pretty bad, we'll change that as well, and we've got our water pump. So we'll take that with us. So that's what your new water pump should look like, and that's what the old one looked like after taking it out. Crazy how stuff that was in. So we've got a little seal the whole way around the water pump. We're just going to get some sealer and just apply a good coat of sealer the whole way around it, and we'll get our water pump back in. So that's our coat, silicone put on, and we'll get it back in. Clean up our balls before we put them back in, make things look a bit tidier. Just sprayed some brake cleaner on. Find brake cleaner is the best stuff for cleaning down and degreasing. As you can see, we applied just enough sealer as we're tightening it. You can see the sealer just ever so slightly coming out of it. You don't want to be putting too much and having sealer everywhere. Once you fit this, just turn your water pump to make sure it's moving freely, which it is. And now we're going to take off this guide, which comes with a new time belt kit. You'll need a 6mm Allen key. Loosen this off. No harm while the time belt is off it. There's any oil residue. I suppose now is the time to get it off. You can see there's a lot of build up here as well. So now we're doing a quick clean down. Remove the oil at the bottom of the engine. Looks a whole lot tidier. Definitely recommend doing it. So now we're back to fitting the guide we're taking off. It comes with a new bolt. As you can see, it has thread lock on it, which is the blue stuff. It helps it from loosening. So we'll get that back on there. Again, just check things are moving nice and free. Now we can get back onto fitting the time belt. So we've got our new time belt tension here, which slots back on here. And in the new time belt kit as well comes a new 20mm nut and washer. Just don't tighten it yet. We need to get the time belt on first. So before we go and fit our time belt, we'll just check that our marks are still aligned. You can see that it's moved off tooth on the exhaust side, and the crankshaft mark is still fine. So we just need to get a socket or a spanner on this and just move it back slightly per mark. We'll need a 21 spanner or socket if you want to move this. So now we have that line back up. And get a new time belt. And just our belt. We'll start off by putting it on the crankshaft probably first. Just make sure time belt is sitting in the grooves. Then I'll come up around the guide first, up onto the inlet camshaft, and then over onto the inlet camshaft. Slightly moved again, so I just have to get the socket back on it. There. For the water pump and for tensioner. Now we can get a tool for the tensioner, so we can tension our belt. This set you can buy in any motor factories. It's actually designed for opening up some different types of sump bolts, but works perfectly for this. So just make sure when you're tensioning your belt, you must turn your tool anti-clockwise. Sorry guys, batteries went dead in the GoPro there. Like I was saying, when you're tensioning your time belt, you need to turn it anti-clockwise. That forces the pulley into the time belt. You just, when you tighten it up, you just want a small bit of play in your time belt. Nothing too excessive that you can turn it crazy angles. You just want to turn it that you've enough movement out like that with your tool, and then you just tighten up your 13mm nut. And we will do, once we've this done, we'll do 4 revolutions of the crankshaft. So you can see your time belt mark there. We need to do 4 revolutions of the crankshaft. So you'll need a 21 socket or a 22 socket for that. I'm not too sure, I'll find out now. You'll need a 22 socket for the crankshaft. We'll do 4 rotations now. Revolution. This 2. This 3. And that's our 4th. Just before we've come to our 4th revolution, we'll just take it nice and easy and just line up our crankshaft mark. And we'll come back up and just check our time belt marks, which is on the inlet, which is good, exhaust, which is good as well. So now you'll just need to fit your lower time belt cover, fit your top time belt cover, and then just refit your alternator bracket in reverse order of this video. Hope the video was helpful. Like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks.